What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of KozMatt's Wrestling Recap. Man, it feels good to say that again. With two nights of action-packed, and some would say lackluster, some people have that opinion of it. I thought both nights were pretty good. We were both saying that it didn't feel like WrestleMania doesn't feel the same anymore, but nevertheless, two nights of WrestleMania behind us. The Raw after WrestleMania kicked off this week for Monday night. And it didn't disappoint, in my opinion. Kicking off with Obafemi basically saying just three words: "Your ruler is here," and dropped the mic and left the ring. And the crowd was chanting his name. They were fired up to kick this thing off. What did you think about the show, Matthew?
Oh, was Raw WrestleMania worthy? No. Well, it didn't feel like a Raw after WrestleMania. Why? The crowd, number one. I don't think this crowd, I don't think a Raw after WrestleMania crowd has been this lackluster. Um, did I want to say WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday were bad? No. I think they were pretty mid WrestleManias. They felt more like SummerSlams, to be honest with you. And I hate to say it, but WrestleMania, the feel for WrestleMania, I think everybody can almost atone to this. It's not like it used to be. But like we said, the show must go on. And I think it was a great Raw after WrestleMania, but it did not feel like a Raw after WrestleMania. And I hate to say it, SmackDown is going to feel like a regular SmackDown.
Especially that third hour, man. It's gonna
We saw some
drag. I'm
surprises
telling you.
tonight. Were they wow? Not really wow, but I'm happy they did what they did, and we will get into that. But a Raw after WrestleMania, did it live up to the hype? It did, but it didn't feel like a Raw after WrestleMania. So, like you said, Oba Femi's music hit. Man, he just stood silently, and the crowd was just feeding off of him. The rulers arrived. That's what he said. Drop the mic, hit his pose. 10 out of 10. He didn't need to say more. If Brock Lesnar's retired, Brock, thank you. I didn't expect that. But you know what? Passing the torch to Obafemi. What a better way to do it.
Classy move for real. Brock Lesnar, multi-sport athlete, dominated the UFC scene, the MMA scene, and certainly WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He would have loved the fight that we got next. The Kabuki Warriors taking on Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I could watch these ladies go at it again and again, and this match certainly delivered on all aspects. Man, Io Sky's got to be careful with those dives to the outside, man. I thought she hurt her neck again. It was definitely an awkward land, but you know what? She helped her team. Rhea Ripley hitting the Riptide for the victory after the Kabuki Warriors didn't seem to be on the same page. Asuka lighting into Kairi Sane and her,
Yeah,
her
I think
senpai there, man. She's not liking it, and I think Kairi Sane's eventually going to turn on her. For
yeah, I think the seeds for tonight, I think the seeds were being planted for Kyrie and Asuka's fake breakup eventually, which has definitely been a long time coming. And honestly, if they didn't catch up on this, I probably would have forgot about it. So I guess it was a good call to put them both against Rhea and Io Sky. And I think teaming Rhea and Io up after WrestleMania is still a fine call because, well, but they're both over. Rhea just won the championship back. And what do you do with Io Sky? Well, keep her tagged up with Rhea. There's nothing to lose here. But it was a good match. These four, it was just a well paced match. And these four just have great chemistry.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Then we cut to backstage. Adam Pearce running into Penta, congratulating him on an excellent ladder match for Sunday night, saying that he stole the show. And I can't tend to agree more with that. For Ethan Page to show up and Javon Evans saying that, don't get too used to holding that championship. It was almost his at WrestleMania. And Ethan Page got right in Javon's face. These two have history from NXT, and this set up a match for us next, and it delivered for real.
Yeah, it did. Well, it was a good match, but Rusev came out of nowhere, tried to take out Javon Evans. But Javon beat him to the punch here. Distracted. The distraction did allow Ethan Page to recover and hit the finisher for the win. Um, Ethan Page allowed Rusev to beat up Javon after he got
Penta
the win
coming
here.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, but Penta came and made the save here. Rusev attacked Penta, ending the segment standing tall with the Intercontinental title. Do I feel Rusev winning the Intercontinental Championship? I don't care for it, but you know what? Throw it on him because I guess you have to do something with Rusev, and Penta losing the title, it's not going to hurt him. It's really not. After a break, we get CM Punk making his way out. No music, no Videotron, kind of like how we did for WrestleMania. Um, Fans were chanting his name. Some were booing. You know, kind of looking around. Said it's clobbering time, just like he did with WrestleMania. And his music hit. Walked out of the ring. He didn't have a lot of energy in his pep tonight. He was walking down a bit slowly. Maybe it makes sense because of the match he went through this past weekend on Sunday night. He talked about dealing with a lot over the past 6 months, losing an MMA trainer of his, a bunch of WWE employees, Larry, his dog. But he gave one thanks, and that was to everybody who makes the show possible. He said the fans helped him through these crazy losses. Losing his title didn't sting as much as losing some of his friends, but he just thanked everybody for helping him through all of this. As he was getting ready to leave, Cody Rhodes' music hit. Punk actually he made a little joke about going over his promo time, but
His
Rhodes came out serious. Said he had a
eye
different
is
reaction
gnarly,
from him
man.
after losing the title. Um, Punk said he doesn't feel like a loser, which seemed a bit of a surprise to Rhodes here. But Rhodes told CM Punk he had a WWE title shot waiting for him whenever he wanted it. So, pretty solid segment. Are they going to run it back? Mm, I don't know. I get WrestleMania Backlash vibes, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they ran it back again.
CM Punk really is the master on that microphone, dude. He really is. And you know what? Cody Rhodes, I know a ton of us weren't happy that Randy didn't get the belt, but it is what it is. And Cody's eye, man, that thing looks gnarly. It really does. But you know what? The surprises kept coming because we had Liv Morgan, of course, coming out with her Judgment Day stable. You know, she was going to be glowing, hooting and hollering, and
Celebrating after taking on Stephanie Vaquer and beating her to
that's
win the
exactly what she was
championship.
doing, man. Exactly. And you know what? Sol Ruka comes out. Is she
Mm,
a permanent member to Monday Night Raw? We'll have to wait and see. She's got a couple more matches on NXT, especially one tomorrow that is
mm.
Zarya, which Zarya got involved in this match with her and Liv Morgan. Adam Pearce making it official. And man, that Soul Snatcher, that Soul Ruka hits is one of the best finishers I've ever seen. It really is.
Yeah, man. Zarya showed up attacking Sol Ruka while the ref is occupied. Morgan defeats Ruka with I think an Oblivion for the win. Yeah, man, I'm excited for Sol Ruka. Let her finish up her time here in NXT or there in NXT, and she's gonna make her way to the main roster. And tonight, I think throwing some NXT stars in the mix for Raw after WrestleMania. Let's do it. They
One,
they 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 do that, and I'm happy they keep that tradition alive.
yeah, me too. One thing that I wasn't super stoked about is they had Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer face off at the
Yeah,
ramp.
and
So it looks like we're getting that rematch at
uh,
Backlash. I get it, they just got off of 2 nights of WrestleMania. The writers need a little bit of a break, a little bit of leeway, but you're supposed to be creating new storylines.
I agree.
And
What's the point of
WrestleMania,
WrestleMania if we're just going to keep running it back? And I understand WrestleMania
yeah.
Backlash is to somewhat run things back, but WrestleMania after WrestleMania, it's supposed to feel like I guess a new era. We're supposed to start fresh. And with WrestleMania Backlash, yeah, you can keep things going, but I was I don't know. I was hoping to get something new with Liv and Stephanie,
It's almost like a new season and running back the same championship back over. Like if say like
especially with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. Are they going to run them back again? You know what I mean? It makes me wonder. And nothing. Some things just don't feel fresh.
or Randy and Cody, I could see that happening too. It's just I want to see some fresh faces in the championship scene, some fresh feuds, and I hope WWE kicks it into high gear pretty soon.
I don't know. I hope so. I think they got a little something planned, but I think what they're focusing on right now is next year's WrestleMania. What's the shape going to be like heading towards Mania and Saudi? Um, so Vision comes out. Logan Paul, Theory, Paul Heyman come out for a promo. Um, Paul basically just cuts a quick promo about Brock. Um, well, he had a whole speech prepared for tonight, but he is still dealing with what happened to Brock at Mania. So he handed the mic to Paul.
He got
Dude, this
booed out of
got
the
booed.
building.
He got booed. Logan Paul being the hypocrite, stating that he hates the outsiders who come to WWE. Huh, how ironic. Heyman brings out Braun Breaker for his first Raw appearance since his injury, calling Seth Rollins weak, bragging about ruining his match with Gunther. Seth Rollins comes out with a steel chair, and he's looking to attack Braun Breaker to get some revenge. Well, they got the better bet of him, but the Street Profits come out and make a surprise return to even the odds here. Braun Breaker hits Seth Rollins with just a massive spear, and Rollins was feeling the effects of his match at WrestleMania against Gunther. The crowd was loud, made it entertaining. Rollins looking for revenge. Street Profits coming and tagging up with Rollins. I guess this is what we're going to get at WrestleMania Backlash. Breaker, Paul, in theory, taking on Angela Dawkins, Montez Ford, and Seth Rollins. And I'm here for it.
I like it. I honestly do. And you know what? This is a fresh way to get the Street Profits back on TV. This is exactly what we were talking about. The fresh injection of storylines with a little bit of sprinkling in of Braun Breaker still going after Seth Rollins. That's a happy compromise right there, in my opinion. But what was great next is we had JD McDonough and Finn Balor, two lifelong friends. Finn Balor, they're blood runs deep with each other. Finn Balor coached JD McDonough ever since he was 12 years old. They had a match next. Of course, you had to know Dom got involved,
Mm.
but Finn Balor didn't let it distract him, hitting a coup de grace for the victory. Of course, Dominic Mysterio, not happy that his now enemy, Finn Balor, picked up the win, just brutalized him in the ring after this match. And it looks like the Finn and Dom storyline is far from over.
Far, far from over. And that's where WrestleMania Backlash takes place. And I get it. You want to give your writers some time. I totally understand. But man, I'm ready for something new. Let's give it some time. Let's see how it pans out and what they have coming after Backlash. Let's
I,
let's let's be nice to them because they do bust their butt.
I couldn't agree with you more. We're not gonna love everything. One guy I do have to give credit to that I love so much. He was my highlight of WrestleMania, Danhausen, especially coming out in that mini tank.
Right? Did we? I don't think we did.
He came out during the commercial break. I saw some pictures on TV. He came out in his mini tank again, launching t-shirts into the crowd. I love that guy, I really do. But this brought us to our main event segment. Your new World Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns, after a hellacious match with CM Punk. Certainly the match of WrestleMania. Took us home great from WrestleMania Night 2, saying that he had a speech prepared about how he was going to be staying all summer and that he's no longer a part-timer, which I love to hear because I don't want my champion to be a part-timer. But he said we have to deal with family business first, bringing out the Usos, saying that he's missed it, not saying that they have to get back to what they were in the bloodline, but saying that they all have to get on the same page.
Yeah, man. He missed having the trust of the Usos and doing business with them, basically. They're stronger together than they are apart. I couldn't agree more. They seemed on board. Jacob Fatu shows up. Good pop from the crowd. He wasn't there to acknowledge Roman. He was there to challenge him. He's looking at that title. He doesn't want the World Heavyweight Championship. He needs it.
Yes.
So I believe at WrestleMania Backlash they're doing Roman versus Fatu. Do you see Jacob Fatu winning the title off Roman at Backlash? No,
I do not know.
but it's going to, I think, just continue this bloodline saga. Are we eventually going to see all the bloodline back together? I don't know.
I think that there's going to be a healthier respect between all the members of the Bloodline on Monday Night Raw, meaning the Usos, and maybe Jacob Fatu will be on Raw too, which I would love to see. This is something fresh, though. We haven't seen Jacob and Roman go one-on-one. I think it will be a heck of a match. I really do. So I hope this gets a mini rivalry started underway. And like I said, we just want to see some fresh things on TV. And we got some of that with some NXT call-ups tonight, along with good matches. And you know what? It didn't quite feel like a Raw after Mania. WrestleMania didn't have the same aura and feel to it, but there were certainly some positives in the night, and we can't all be complainers about it. There's going to be positives and negatives in everything. And overall, I thought tonight's Monday Night Raw was a pretty good show. Let us know what you guys thought about the show. Always like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Until then, peace out. This has been KozMatt. Thanks for watching.